Hey survivors, my name is Justin aka Cutbus99. I'm the lead level designer of Projekt Z, our new free-to-play co-op zombie shooter made with Unity. In this devlog series we want to share as much of the development as we can, so let me tell you more about Projekt Z. Projekt Z is an atmospheric first-person zombie co-op shooter set in World War II, where you get to play different characters who have very different abilities to find out more about the secrets of the German island you all crashed on. With Projekt Z we want to combine the casual and the hardcore market by implementing a bit of both, which means that we are inspired by Left 4 Dead and Escape from Tarkov. It should offer an interesting story for each character and also tell a great story about the island itself. We think it's time for a co-op game with a bit more tactic and a good understandable story. But the game isn't ending there. Build your hub, recruit and find people to get important things fixed inside your hub, collect building materials, and craft better ammo and much more. We will let you know more about the game's concept in the next months to come. But now, let's go into the devlog. Max, it's your turn.
Thanks Justin, and hey guys, my name is Max and I'm the lead programmer of Projekt Z. Since this is the first devlog, the things you will see are the base for creating the game and have been created from scratch. Let's start with the movement. The basics such as sprinting, walking and crouching are there, but we will also allow the player to go prone in order to make less noise. Of course, everything is fully animated. As you might have noticed, there is no visible HUD. This is not because we haven't created it yet, but because there will be minimal HUD in this game in order to make it more immersive. In order to check on your character's state, you can perform actions. For now there is only the ammo check. Pressing X will initiate an ammo check. Resource management is key in Projekt Z. Therefore ammo works with magazines. When reloading, an empty magazine will be discarded and a magazine that still has bullets in it will be added to your inventory. That also means if you reload while having one bullet left in your magazine, you will later load the weapon with that magazine and only have one bullet left to shoot. To encourage stealth gameplay and the use of melee, weapons can actually jam. At the moment it's just randomness based, but the mechanic will be expanded as more features are added into the game. We are also bringing back old school features like leaning and actual recoil. Shooting full auto will really throw your weapon off.
Our animator Adin did a great job of working on all the weapon animations you saw in the background with the awesome sound design of Navarro. Our 3D artist Jan also did a great job of working on new props and buildings like a lighthouse, a tunnel, fences, bunkers and more. And a big thanks to Antonio aka Schwappo for creating the new 314 Arts website and the newsletter for Projekt Z. Hey survivors, and welcome to the second devlog video of Projekt Z. We hope you had a great summer, and in this devlog video we will give you a deeper look into the concept of the game, and we will show you a lot of cool stuff we have worked on in the last 2 months. But first of all, maybe you noticed that the sound quality in this devlog video is a lot better than in the first one, and that's because of our first partner, Antlion Audio. They joined us as a partner for the devlogs, and they sent us 2 mics to achieve better audio quality for this devlog. So the entire audio is captured with the mod mic wireless, and a big thanks to Antlion Audio for partnering up with us. We really appreciate this. But I think I talked enough for now. We have so much cool stuff to show you that we should start the actual devlog. So let's start with the animations. Adin was working on a lot of stuff in the last 2 months, like the first pistol, the Luger, new shooting animations if you're aiming, and he also worked on the compass and the fall animations. All of this combined with the sound design of Navarro. Our 3D artist Jan was working on stuff like retexturing the zombies and adding gore parts to it. But please keep in mind that the zombies we are showing right now are placeholders, but we wanted to give the zombies a much better and more proper look. So the zombies will change as soon as we find a character artist. He also worked on a few props for future maps. In the meantime, I was working on the night version of the Devlog map that you saw multiple times now, and I was working on the first blockouts to prepare the game for the first gameplay and mission tests. But Max will now go deeper into the new things we have added, like the zombie AI, the compass, the first integration of the user interface and the inventory system. Max, it's your turn.
Thank you, Justin, and let's start with the gameplay mechanics. This is your compass. He acts as your guide should you not know where to go next. At the moment it only shows where north is because the mission system has not been created yet. The second needle you see will show you where to go for your next objective. You can still use your weapon while you have the compass out. You can still shoot, and in some cases you can even melee. This is our Grand Zombie. He's the lowest level of zombie you will encounter in the game. At first he may not seem very dangerous, but be aware. Grand zombies will form herds and roam around together while they are unbothered. They have what's called the aggro level. At first they are slow, but as you attack them, their aggro level increases by taking damage and killing their fellow zombie mates. That means as you fight them they become more dangerous. Therefore it should be well calculated whether you want to attack a horde of zombies or try to distract them instead. This applies to the main mode of the game. In a separate wave survival mode they are instantly on a high aggro level. And now the fun part. Zombies can be dismembered. You can blow off their head, immobilize them by blowing off their legs, or disable some of their abilities to attack by shooting off their arms. In order to open your magazine inventory, you need to press the middle mouse button. On the first screen you can see which magazine types you carry. You can carry up to 6 different types of magazines. Here you can also see the total amount of bullets that you have for each magazine type. If you click on a magazine type, you're into a sub-menu in which you can see the individual magazines that you have and how many rounds each one holds. If you left click on a magazine, you will reload your weapon with that magazine if it's the right one. You can also drop magazines by right-clicking on them. Teammates can also pick these up. Are you surrounded by zombies? Should you want to escape, be wary of heights. You will not just take fall damage, but if it's high enough, you'll do what we call an anti-hero land. In short, you'll drop your weapon. Should you still die despite your best efforts to escape or fight, you will come back as a zombie and eat your friends. Please note that this zombie will also be AI controlled and you cannot control it yourself. So there have been some misconceptions about what the game really is. Let us make it clear. Projekt Z is not a survival game. Every character comes with a unique mission that you have to play alone in order to unlock that character. From there on, that character is available in the hub. You have to play at least one of these missions in order to actually access the hub. The hub is your point of operation. From here you can form your lobby and start missions. After a mission is completed or failed, you return to your hub with the other players that are inside your lobby. Think of your hub as an empty building space open for your creativity. During missions you have to gather building materials, blueprints, food, water, fuel and people which will then be available inside your hub. Keep in mind that more people require more resources, therefore you have to manage efficiently to not get in trouble. We don't want to go into too much detail at this point, but this should give you a small overview of what the main game loop will actually look like.
So, we hope you understand a bit better now what the hub and the game loop is about. Maybe you noticed that Max teased the survival wave mode a bit, and it was so easy to put this game mode on the list, because we all love the Black Ops 1 zombie mode, so we hope you like the idea of an additional Black Ops 1 inspired zombie mode with all the stuff you love and we love. Like weapon punching, closing barricades, zombie drops like the nuke, double points, the mystery box and more. Hey survivors, and welcome to the third devlog video of Projekt Z. The whole team wishes you a happy new year and we hope you had a great Christmas with your family. Maybe you can see that we moved into another office, and that means that the part of the team is now in Sweden, working 90% of the time on Projekt Z. That will help us to create a better workflow and avoid miscommunication. My name is Justin Mirsch and I'm the lead level designer of Projekt Z. Our team is now working on new stuff for Projekt Z for around 3 months, and we can't wait to show it. So, let's go. We know that it's really immersion breaking if a player leaves during a playthrough, because in 99% of the games, the player model just disappears. Therefore in our game, it's a bit different. When a player leaves the lobby during a playthrough, he has to commit suicide. So every weapon and every grenade comes with its own and unique suicide animation. We also added 2 new weapons, the Mosin and the Stielhandgranate. Both of them were animated by Adin, and with the Mosin we now have the first sniper in the game. We have also added a translation for all the German items on the map. So if you want to know what the graffiti on the wall means, just look at it. This should help to get a deeper understanding of the island and what happened. Do you remember the blockout map from the wave survival mode we have showed in the last video? Jan and I started to add a bit of life to it, so we changed a few things and started with the finalizing process. Obviously it will take a while, but we still want to show that. But yeah, let's talk about the survival wave mode a bit. We think it's perfect working on a mode where the gunplay is the most important part. If the pure shooting of zombies is fun and satisfying, we can move on to the next step. Like the main mission mode with all its glory, like the hub, the missions, the management systems and more. But I think I talked enough for now, and Max, it's your turn.
Thanks Justin, and a very welcome from me too. Even though this devlog is focused on the wave survival game mode, there have still been some changes to the player that apply to all game modes. Because the game is of a more slower paced tactical nature, we decided to add stamina to the game. But let's start with this devlog's core element, the wave survival mode. Let's get started with the basics. The barricades. Zombies spawn behind the barricades and destroy them before entering the playable part of the map. In order to fix them, equip your hammer and hammer the barricades. Hitting and killing zombies gives you Reichsmark, the wave mode's currency. It can be used to buy weapons, ammo and unlock new parts of the map. And most importantly, you needed to use the Nazi doping machine. Here you can buy several types of drugs, currently alcohol, pervitin and heroin, which give you a perk each. Of course, they also play a great jingle thanks to our new team member Sigurd Jonk Jensen. You've also been listening to his new devlog track during this devlog. In order to make the wave survival maps more interesting, the maps themselves are also interactive. The first example of this is a generator that you have to activate in order to access the Nazi doping machines. To activate it, you have to find benzene on the map and pour it into the generator. Then it will start up. As you can see, the Nazi doping machines turn on and can now be used. When killed, zombies also drop things that you can pick up. Currently there are 4 types of drops. Double points, which gives you twice the amount of points for a specific time. Closed barricades, which instantly repairs all barricades. Max ammo, which fills your inventory completely with ammo for the weapons that you have equipped. And an instant kill, which explodes all zombie heads. Of course, more drops will be added in the future. But please keep in mind that the drop visuals are placeholders and will be changed in the future. We all know it, a gun is horribly unbalanced in the game and it takes ages for a fix to arrive. Now that, hopefully, won't happen in the first place, but if it does, remote config comes to the rescue. This is a Unity service and it allows us to change the settings of a weapon and other things on the fly without actually needing to update the game.
Thank you, Max. There's also great news for all content creators out there. We got a few messages if we could make a partner program, and of course we can do this. From this second you can apply to our partner program on our website, but please keep in mind that this partner program is just for our content creators. But straight into another very important topic. We saw that a lot of people are scared of the fact that we are a free-to-play game, and we totally understand that after so many greedy monetization systems from other companies. But we can guarantee you that our monetization system will be like any other pay-to-play title. We want to show other developers that you can build a fair system for both sides, but we will go deeper into it in one of our next devlogs. So, and that's Hey survivors, and welcome to devlog number 4. My name is Justin Miersch and I'm the game and level designer of Projekt Z, and in the last few months we've worked on some awesome stuff that we now want to share. But without any further ado, let's get right into it. In this devlog video we will talk about the future of the entire project, so we will talk about the intro missions, the hub, our new damage system, our inventory system, the monetization system and much more. But we also have some surprises and announcements for you. And the first announcement is right now. I'm so happy to announce that we've released our pre-save Kickstarter page for you so that you can save the campaign and get notified as soon as our Kickstarter starts. We will also drop some new and interesting videos about the game as soon as we get closer to the Kickstarter campaign. And let's go to the next surprise. We also released our Steam store page right at this moment so that you can wishlist Projekt Z on Steam, and because it's free to play, you will get notified as soon as you can start playing. For the Germans out there, you have to wait a bit longer, but we will guarantee you that the game will be available at the same time as for anybody else. These are not the only surprises for this evening. For those watching the premiere, you have to wait a bit longer. For those watching it afterwards, don't skip. But for the new people here watching, what is Projekt Z? Projekt Z is a free-to-play first-person zombie co-op shooter set in World War II. And the goal of Projekt Z is to combine hardcore games like Escape from Tarkov with games like Left 4 Dead and Fallout Shelter. Why Fallout Shelter, you might ask? Projekt Z is very different from other co-op shooters. Instead of just running through missions, doing objectives and killing zombies, you also have to manage your own hub. But I will come back to the hub in a little bit, because before all that you have to choose a character. A character has a passive and an active ability. After choosing a character, you have to play the intro mission of the character you've chosen. An intro mission is a single player mission where we explain the background story of the character and how he got to the island. Next up, we have the hub. The hub is a core element in the game's main mode. Currently, we don't have any hub gameplay to show, but I think it's very important to explain what the hub is. From the hub you can start your missions, but you also can upgrade and equip your own characters. The management is similar to Fallout Shelter and the Fallout 4 mod Sim Settlements. That means you do not have to babysit your survivors, you just need to give them a place where they can sleep and set up their shops. Survivors can be found and recruited during story missions, and each survivor has certain skills that will influence what he can offer in the hub. For example, unique weapon attachments, but you also can expand this knowledge by finding blueprints during the story missions, so that you can build more and better attachments. Of course, like in real life, conflicts will occur between survivors in your hub, and you will need to find a way to solve them. So the game loop is: go on missions with your friends, find building materials, food, water, benzene for electricity and more. After this you go back to the missions and try to find AI survivors to extend your hub. But now, because you have more AI survivors inside of your hub, you need to have more food and water. So you have to manage carefully, and maybe you want to extend one of your shops as well. For that you need more electricity, so it's getting harder and harder over time. There's so much more to the game, but we want to show you that with the real in-game footage later this year. I hope you understand that. We also think it's time for the next big announcement. We're so proud to announce that we now have Nitrado as one of our partners. Nitrado is our official server host for Projekt Z's Wave mode and will help us with their infrastructure to give you the best experience possible. And now to something other. the story of the game, the actual devlog, but I will give these topics to Max. So Max, it's your turn.
Thanks Justin, and let's get to it. Well, you've probably all been wondering what's up with the name of the game, and well, it's actually part of the story. The Projekt Z was one of the efforts of the Nazis to develop a weapon that would turn the war around in their favor. It originated from the island the game takes place on. When it was first discovered, one of the Discovery crew members was killed in an accident, or so they thought. After a while he got back up and started attacking his former crewmates. Body shots didn't really impress him, he could only be stopped with damage to the brain. This immediately caught the attention of the Oberkommando der Wehrmacht. Infrastructure on the island was set up and research began on how this phenomenon could be utilized for the purpose of eradicating entire armies. That is not the only research that was going on the island though. Several new Vergeltungswaffen were being developed on different parts of the island, as well as new vehicles, drugs and equipment. The game itself takes place directly after the end of World War II in Germany. Documents about the island had been discovered after das Dritte Reich fell. The Allied forces used several captured German planes to recon the island. Due to an incident in the actual Projekt Z, communications and several other parts of the infrastructure on the island were damaged. Only a small part of the German forces stationed on the island actually knew that the war was over. The other part of the forces still believed they are at war and consider the others as traitors for working together with crashed Allied forces. The old inventory was completely scrapped and replaced with a new grid-based inventory. The old one was simply too limited for what we wanted to do with the game. Every item from weapons, magazines to medicine and quest items will go here. You can equip other weapons by dragging them onto the corresponding slot. Together with the inventory, our player damage system was also vastly extended. Instead of just simply taking damage to your health, we chose to split it up into different body parts, 15 currently. When the zombie attacks you, the body part that he hit will take damage, and depending on how you were hit and some RNG, will be scratched, bitten or bleed. You can heal yourself by either using it with the use button or dragging it onto a specific body part. Currently this is not animated because the animations aren't done yet, but of course in the final game every heal action will be animated. During a fight this way would be very slow and cumbersome. For that a quick heal button will be implemented, which will heal the biggest ones with the supplies that you have. Of course, with other attacks such as ranged attacks from NPCs or environmental hazards, you can also have shot wounds, burns, breaks and more. The damage that you have taken also affects you visibly. You will walk slower and with different animations. Some new weapons were also added. The German Sturmgewehr 44 with animations from Adin. And the American Colt M1911 with animations from Lynx. And now we'll get to the bit that had all of you wondering ever since we announced that Projekt Z would be free to play. Justin, it's your turn.
Thank you, Max. Obviously, we have to make some money to keep the development going after the release. And a lot of people are still concerned about our monetization model because you all know Projekt Z is free to play. We're still very early in development, but we want to hear feedback on our first iteration of it. Because as we mentioned in the second devlog, we want to create one of the fairest systems we can possibly think of. And this is only possible with you, the community. Before we start, I have to make one thing clear. The plan we're talking about has nothing to do with the base content of the game. Everything we're talking about is post-launch content. So let's start with the Wehrmachtspass. The Wehrmachtspass is a normal battle pass, but with a few tweaks. First off, the pass will have 30 levels with new skins, hub decorations, player customizations, side missions, a new character with a new interesting player mission, and a new character related weapon variant. What is a weapon variant, you might ask? Instead of selling new weapons, we think we can achieve the same feeling of having a new weapon in a more consumer-friendly way. In general, a weapon variant is just a skin with a slightly changed 3D model and new animations. So all of the stats like damage, fire rate, etc. stays the same. Feel free to tell us your opinion on that kind of system. Next up we have our co-op mission packs, character skins and hub decorations, but I think the names are self-explanatory. But now to the best part, the free content. The idea is to release free content such as new side missions, hub expansions and weapons later. And yeah, you heard me right. The plan is to make all new weapons free. Because as we mentioned earlier, we think we can achieve the same feeling of having a new weapon with the weapon variants. But yeah, we know it's very early, but we think sharing our ideas of our monetization system is important, so that you can see that we want to create a good and fair system. So please help us and give us your opinion on our current monetization plan, and please keep in mind that this can change later in development. Okay, that was hard. It's never easy for a game developer to talk about monetization, but we have talked about a lot of cool stuff today, like new features such as the damage system, our inventory system, new weapons and the intro missions, but also the Kickstarter and our Steam page. And we cannot wait to show you the stuff we have planned for the future, like finally co-op gameplay and the hub. But for that we need a bit more time and your support. Feel free to save our Kickstarter page for the day it launched, and also don't forget to wishlist Projekt Z on Steam. I hope I can see you in the next devlog, and until there, have a great one.